The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
You guys don't even want to know what was going on here about 30 seconds ago. Unbelievable. It is just mass insanity here at the Seminole Hard Rock at the WPT Lucky Hearts Poker Open. When BJ Nemeth is around, all hell breaks loose. It's just the way it goes, everybody. But wow. We'll see if we can sneak BJ over here at some point to talk about that conversation that he just had, and I don't know. I'm scared. Lucchese's scared. We're all scared. Nemeth has scared us. Here, come tell everybody about that. BJ's gonna come over and tell us some stories. Wow. We'll get some stories from Al Can't Hang, maybe too. Maybe he's not sure. Here he comes. Oh God. All right, BJ. Now. I did not know about this, but an interesting conversation going on with some of the higher ups here that you wouldn't expect. BJ, what was this revelation that you gave out this afternoon?
I feel like it was old news because I follow a lot of, like when I'm not at a poker tournament, I don't follow poker that much, but I follow the tech world a lot.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, or at least feels like a couple of years ago, somebody made an extension for Chrome, the web browser Chrome, and I think some of the other browsers, and I think it's called the Cloud to Butt extension.
Hold on. The Cloud to Butt, as in buttocks, as in
yes.
Gluteus Maximus.
And the one I'm familiar with, there's probably others that do similar things. Anytime on a web page, when you load a web page, when it detects the words "the cloud," so if you say, "Oh, look, there are lovely clouds in the sky," it would write lovely clouds in the sky. If you say, "Oh, that cloud looks like a whatever," it would say that cloud. But anytime you say the pretentious "the cloud," like the modern internet,
the overlord cloud, yes.
Right. It just replaces the cloud with my butt.
With my butt.
Or your butt, or, it can do other things.
It can do many things with the butt, apparently.
And the great thing about this, like if you were to play a prank on somebody and load this extension on their computer or on their browser without their knowledge, they would go to an actual official website. They would go to Apple's website and say, "Hey, I want to see about backing up my iPhone or my photos or whatever." And on the website, it wouldn't be a fake website. On the website, it would say, "Hey, if you sign up for iCloud, then all of your photos will always be backed up to my butt. And all of your devices can connect to my butt and download your photos anytime you'd like from my butt."
Does that mean you get
replace.
Updates in your butt or to
no,
your butt?
You get updates from my butt.
From your butt. Okay.
That's it.
That's
just the Cloud to Butt extension. Google it. Google is your friend. Except if you're using Chrome and it changes the cloud to my butt.
Unbelievable. This is what we do here. You guys think we're all just numbers and pictures and everything. Oh, no, we talk about cloud butts.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I didn't think it was that, it's old news in the circles that I often run in.
Well,
so
some of us kids are buried under a rock,
Buried under my butt. You could do
under your butt, yes.
Extension.
That would be bad. Hey, well, let's talk about last night real quick while I have you here.
Okay.
An interesting evening. Only a couple of players got over 200,000 chips last night. A little bit of slow play, which is kind of different for down here. Usually it's kind of all hell breaking loose, but not last night.
Well, I don't know. All hell did break loose for a little while because Alan Kessler was chip leader twice and finished near the top of the counts.
Well, that would be hell freezing over.
Yeah, but
there's a little difference.
That's all hell breaking loose. If you were in hell and it froze, that would be all hell breaking loose. Freezing beyond its boundaries. Yeah, I kind of expected people to have more chips, like chip leader at the end of the night. So as we get more players in the field and day 1B and day 1C, odds are somebody will beat it.
Yeah, I thought one thing that was interesting too is 125 players got through last night, which for the amount of entries seemed like a fairly high number. Is that typical for a WPT event? I mean, for people that don't follow as tightly as maybe
it all depends on the blind structure. Some of the events, like here, we play 10 1-hour levels on day 1. At Bellagio, you'll play 5 90-minute levels on day one.
Mm-hmm.
So you're only going 5 levels into the structure as opposed to 10. And you're going to get a lot more eliminations in 10. Unlimited re-entries encourages faster play among the I don't want to say wealthier players, but players with more disposable income.
Yes.
They're going to play a little faster, a little riskier than they would otherwise. So those factors, you're going to get more bust outs. But the big thing is playing 10 full levels as opposed to 5 levels. I'd say the average WPT is probably like 7 levels. More and more, the lower buy-ins tend to have 1-hour levels on day one. The higher buy-ins tend to have 75 minutes or 90-minute levels. And that makes a huge, like whenever people talk structures, I feel like they give short shrift to how long the levels are. They're so focused, like, you know, I'll see some players on Twitter like, hey, the 250, 500 level is missing and this is a travesty and whatever.
Right.
And they're not paying attention. If they're comparing structures, they're not paying attention to this tournament has 60-minute levels, this tournament has 75-minute levels, which sounds small, but every couple levels, that's like having an extra level.
Right.
I don't know. I've been putting off for probably the last 5 years. I want to do just a big article, not for anybody in particular, but just for like the poker community of this is how you look at a blind structure. This is how a blind structure affects the tournament. Like everybody's so big into deep stacks, and deep stacks are great for a certain crowd. But the problem, in my opinion, with a deep stack in a championship level event is you start people with 300, 600 blinds, and it's such a false start.
Yeah.
Like it gives you time, you know, and people are like, well, it's nice, it gives you time to play and all of this. But I feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't give you that much of an advantage in terms of time, because once you start playing a big pot, it doesn't matter if you have 600 big blinds or 150. After a certain point, it's all getting in.
Exactly.
Regardless of how many blinds you have, because at that point, you're just in a, can I say pissing contest?
Sure.
Okay, you're in a pissing contest with the other guy, and you're like, I'm going to get you to fold, and I'm just going to overbet, shove all in. At that point, it doesn't matter if you have 200 big blinds or 600, it's all in. And if the other guy calls, then boom, it's all gone. Standard level for the championship, when it has all the regular levels, the blinds double every 3 levels. And so I like to call that the half-life of a tournament, because I have a science background.
There you go.
So once a field goes deep enough where it finds its own level, day one, the average big blinds per stack are still higher than they should be naturally. But if you play, let's say you started with 1 million players, and they started with 600 big blinds, you just played. Eventually, if the structure stayed at a constant time, like 1-hour levels or 90-minute levels, the average big blinds would flatten out somewhere maybe in the high 40 big blinds or low 50 big blinds per stack. Once it reaches that point, your field's going to drop in half every 3 levels. Approximately. It's an average,
right,
of course. And so people don't always think about the consequences of that. For instance, if you have a large field event, this event will probably get about 1,000 players. If you ask the average person, let's say they got 2,000 players, how much longer would that make the tournament? And the instinctual reaction is, oh my God, twice the field, that tournament would take forever. No, it would take 3 additional levels, because the half-life of a tournament is 3 levels. Going back to the deep stacks at the beginning, we advertise, because I'm not singling out any casino, because pretty much every WPT event is a deep stack. Every major tournament is a, quote, deep stack.
Right.
The opening blinds are usually something like 50, 100, and then go to like 100, 200. Like they double, not every 3 levels, but every 2 levels for a while, and sometimes every level in the earliest levels. It just, to me, it's a bunch of wasted time for the tournament. A lot of the pros show up late because they don't want to play when the stakes are so low.
Right.
I don't like not having antes in the tournament in a championship event. It's a championship event. Start it with antes. Have people fighting for the pot from the shuffle up and deal. And I feel like the more time you trim off the beginning of a tournament, that time is better used later in the tournament.
Oh, that makes sense, absolutely.
Or, all things being equal, I think it's better for the players, for the staff, for everybody, if instead of playing till midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you're playing till 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Or ideally,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we everybody I talk to loves we call it the Bellagio structure, because they were the first to do it, as far as I know, where they would play 5 90-minute levels on day one, no dinner break. And if you start at noon, you'll end about 8:30, and it's great. You play a solid day of poker. You're 5 90-minute levels. You're getting a lot of play.
Right.
And then instead of going to dinner and then coming back later, which really extends the day, you're done at 8:30. Restaurants are still open. Everybody's free to go.
And you can have a good time and enjoy yourself a little
Right.
bit.
You can relax at dinner. You're not in a rush. You can, if you just want to go home and crash, go to sleep, you can do that. You can go party. Your whole night is open to you. And the players love it. The staff loves it. The media loves it. Unfortunately, with the rise of the re-entry tournaments, you're not going to bust a lot of players in 5 90-minute levels.
Exactly. Yeah, that was a problem we had down here the last series. That we they do the same amount here they did end of level 6, but they did 2 starting days, and you need to kind of pump that up a little bit to hit a guarantee. So it's the damned if you do and damned if you don't, because if you want to do reentries, you put up a big guarantee. You got to push things up a little bit, but if you don't do a reentry, you're gonna pay the price there too. So
right, I'm a big believer. I think we put and following the lead of the WSOP main event, so many people in poker, the media included, myself included, sometimes put so much stress on how many number of entries, how big's the prize pool, how many entries in the tournament. For the main event, that's always the big question and always what we talk about. Like, is it bigger than last year or smaller than last year? And we fall into this rut where it's like, if it was bigger than last year, it's a success, and if it's smaller than last year, it's a failure. Maybe not that extreme, but that's kind of the general feeling. And it really limits your view of a poker tournament, especially the main event, if you think of that's the only pass-fail. Like, bigger is better and smaller is worse. And there's so many other ways to judge a tournament, like how successfully it is run. If you look back in the mid-2000s when the main event, like, they had tents outside in windy conditions, they had smoky hallways. Obviously, these are intangibles that don't affect the play, but it goes a long way towards whether it's a successful tournament or not.
exactly.
Not necessarily, we put too much weight on how big is the field and how media-friendly is the winner. And that there's so many more aspects you could judge a poker tournament.
Like how cute the masseuses are. That's an example.
The Seminole Hard Rock wins that category
easily.
I'm not even sure it's close.
No. No, it's not close.
I'm going to go off on one brief tangent. My family in Atlanta, not so much anymore, but used to participate in the Atlanta Track Club's Peachtree Road Race every summer.
Okay.
It was the largest 10K race in the world, held July 4th in Atlanta. Very hot day. And the thing was, we only considered it a race for the first couple hundred people. For them, it's a race, and there's a winner, and they win money, and it's like, yay, he ran it in 26 minutes or whatever. The race itself was designed primarily for the people in the back. And they're like, we don't judge the success of the event based on the winners, because that's such a small percentage of the number of people playing.
Right.
They judge the success based on the people in the back. They want them to have a safe time, because if you're running on July 4th in Atlanta, it's frequently 90, 100 degrees.
They call it Hotlanta for a reason.
They do, although the locals do not. Locals do not call it Hotlanta. But there's, at the WSOP main event, there's, 6,000, 7,000 entrants. 9 make the final table. The success should not be based on their experience. It should be based, and that's why, I support this year that they're paying 1,000 players. I think that's a great idea, because I think for a pro, if he cashes or not, it's not a big deal unless it's getting the monkey off the back with the first cash. But if you're a regular guy and you have home games and you're taking your one shot at the series, the difference between cashing and not cashing is huge. And it's huge not just for you, but if you're part of a home game in St. Louis or Atlanta or whatever, and you're like, you know what, let's run a little tournament, and whoever wins this, he's going on to play the main event on behalf of all of us.
Right.
He goes back home to his buddies or her buddies or whoever and says, oh my God, I played in the event, it was amazing. If they come back and say, I played in the event and I cashed, even if it was only, say, $12,500, the buy-in was 10, so they're not making a big profit. But that fact that, oh my God, I cashed, that's huge. And for their friends, it's huge. And for them saying, because let's face it, everyone we play poker with, we're like, if that donkey can cash in the main event, then I can do it, because I'm better than him.
A mini moneymaker effect almost.
Yes.
Kind of.
I feel like for every person that cashes in the main event and has a positive experience, they become an ambassador for next year's event. And same with WPT events and all that. Like, we want everybody at the WPT event to have a good time. We want them to be like, you know what, I made day 2, but I didn't cash, but I had a really good time, you know, chatting with the players. The staff was nice and professional. You know, the WPT reporters were fantastic. They were
they're
amazing.
unbelievable.
They should be paid 8 times what they're paid now.
Oh,
It's
20.
amazing.
Go 20.
20 times.
Let's do it. Let's just jockey for that right now. Plisco, take care of this guy.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I've taken us down a long path away from where we started, which was, hey, what's
Talking
this
about the
field
tournament.
like?
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of great players got through yesterday. We're up around I can't quite see the number over there. Is that like 230-ish?
Oh God! I just wrote it down. We were at 220 right when I walked over here, plus 357 for yesterday, so 577.
Yeah, so we're on a pretty good pace.
Yeah, so probably about 600 by now.
Pretty exciting stuff, and a lot of great talent in the room as usual. Always showing up for the World Poker Tour. Of course, the media team.
Yes.
They're pretty talented too. Good group of peeps.
Shout
over
out
there.
to our team leader Mickey Doff, who is
the team leader.
We have rotating team leaders now for the WPT team because we're all more or less equal. Here's trivia.
Here you go.
When I first signed with the WPT in 2007, it was a different situation. They had an exclusive deal with Card Player and stuff. I was the only reporter at the time for the WPT, and then we had Card Player reporters that would work alongside me. I did negotiate in my contract that I had the title lead tournament reporter for the World Poker Tour, but it carried zero additional, no salary, no responsibility,
That's
no
perfect.
authority.
Perfect.
And it was specifically for the purpose, because I was doing Poker Road and some other stuff. They were just starting. And I said, just so when I go on the air, I've got something better than just, hey, I'm a poker reporter or a
Right.
blog. I hate the term blogger for what we do because we're reporters. Blogging feels like it's more editorializing about things. So that's it. I by contract, I am the lead reporter for the World Poker Tour. However, on this tournament, I'm not the team leader.
You're the lead tournament reporter, but you're not the team leader.
No,
Wow.
I'm not. That is Mickey Doft. And Mickey Doft is a kick-ass reporter and by far the best chip counter in the game. And, I mean, chip counts are so important to a poker tournament that almost by default makes him the best reporter in the game.
You know, I have a special task we're going to put Mickey to if we get a chance later in the week.
Poker-related or dangerous?
Yeah. No, we're going to
Oh,
put
okay.
we're going to put his chip counting to the test.
Just scatter a bunch of chips on a table and say, count them. Go.
I've got something better than that.
All right.
I got something better than that. We'll see what happens. Well, BJ, thanks for stopping over. I know you got to keep rolling there. I guess you do. I mean, you're not
I
the
don't,
lead, so.
but,
Oh, you don't? Okay, well, it's all good.
It's day one. It's like walking through the field. It's so hard to find. It's the day one curse. You
know,
have to be in the right place at the right time to catch a big hand.
Since I've been getting out here more and being involved in more of the live reporting side of it too, day one is always a very tedious day. You don't you know, like when I do my blogging, and you know, I don't know if you've looked on shrpo.com, and make sure you do at shrpo.com, and of course Twitter shrpo and hashtag shrpo. That's shrpo in case you forgot.
I just like saying Sherpo.
I know you do. That's okay. See, I spell for people. You know, my listeners sometimes a little off.
Yeah.
So I got to help them
If you
out.
go to Sherpo, you'll probably end up at the wrong place. But SHRPO, you'll end up at the right
Yeah.
place.
You're always trying to just find some interesting stories, interesting personalities. You know, it's people wonder why, like the main event coverage of the World Series, for example. You know, everybody always wondered why these goofballs get on TV. Well, it's because there's nothing else to report. You try to find the most interesting thing you can because your blind levels are at 5,100.
Yeah.
So there's not much happening out there. It's, you know, we had a big hand yesterday, but that is so rare when that happens early in a tournament. So I'm always trying to find those cute stories and, you know, the fun card protectors and the people dressed up and, you know, all that kind of stuff to kind of spice things up a little bit, get everybody a feel for what's going on. I would assume it's kind of the same way for you too.
Yeah, we tend to skip like our coverage goes about as straight as it can go, like just the fact spam. Something has to be very colorful for us to really dig into it, which there's nothing like. I like stops like this where we have other reporters for other sites here because I feel like our reporting is the backbone. Like we're providing like here's all the chip counts and stuff, and y'all have access to that and can use that. Like you're helping report the World Poker Tour, so that's great. And you know, here's some photos of the players in the field, and here's some of the big hands. And as we go deeper, the action becomes a lot more meaningful as the blinds get higher, as the money bubble approaches, things like that. And our coverage amps up every day until the playdown day. We're getting just about every hand that sees a flop with more than 2 bets. And then once we reach the final 10 players, we're reporting every single hand, every check, bet, raise, call, fold, which I said out of order. The call comes before the raise.
Close
anyway,
enough.
Check, bet, call, raise, fold. That's what I meant to say. But I like to think of our thing as being the background. Like, this is I just want to know basically what's happening, and then everybody else can branch off of that and counter program. Like during the Super Bowl, they have like Lifetime movies.
Yeah,
and
and puppy bowls and figure skating.
You would be a poor television programmer if you put a sporting event up against the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Because your sport fans, typically speaking, are going to be watching the Super Bowl. But if you show like Meredith Baxter Burney. God, it's
you
been
got
a while
it.
since I've seen her
Wow,
name.
big pull there.
Like a Lifetime movie with her with some disease of the week or something. Like a lot of the people who don't care about the Super Bowl might care about that, so you'll get some viewers. So anyway, I like to think of us as the backbone, and then you guys can provide more of and especially for an event like this where you guys have been here for a couple weeks, you know more of the local players. You know more of, hey, this guy, he didn't win one of the prelims, but he made 3 final tables and he's on a hot streak. And now he's in the event, and he's doing well, and you guys can profile him better than we can. And that way you don't have to stress out about oh God, I got to go find out who the chip leader is and all that. You can leave that to us if you want, and then just branch out and do more interesting coverage. Not to say that ours isn't interesting, it's just different.
Like the dude with the crystal skull yesterday.
I did not see the crystal
You didn't
skull.
see the crystal skull. You'll have to go on shrpo.com and check it out.
After what George Lucas did to Indiana Jones, I'm a little biased against crystal skulls.
I know. But it was there. I got a nice lead out of that, so it worked.
Yeah, so that's day ones. There are a lot of different ways to cover a day one, and I would like to, maybe this season, maybe next season, experiment with more different ways of covering day one. But the one thing I am a big believer in is the chip counts.
Yep.
I feel like chip counts are always extremely important in tournament coverage, but on day one, I feel like they're the most important because for me, I can follow a tournament just by looking at the chip counts for day one because there's not going to be really any action that just compels the whole, like, oh my God, like the whole tournament hinged on that day one hand. That just really doesn't realistically happen. But if you show me, so if I go into the hand updates, I'll see like, Alan Kessler won a pot, Matt Waxman doubled into the chip lead, and Daryl Fish busted a guy. That doesn't tell me much about the story of what's happening that day because there's so many tables in play. I'm getting a little glimpse. Another example I'll use is if you have a big field event and say Phil Ivey's in it. You can go in and you can cover like 6 Phil Ivey hands that day, and he can win every single one and then bust in the last level. And you haven't narratively told his story. Mm-hmm. You had 6 little glimpses of his day, but looking at your glimpses, it's like, oh, he won a pot, he won a pot, he won a pot. And then when we weren't looking, he busted.
Yeah.
So you didn't tell that story the best possible way. And vice versa. Like we could report 6 Phil Ivey hands where he's like, oh, he lost a pot, oh, he lost a pot, oh, he lost a pot, oh, he ended his chip leader. That's the luck of the draw with day one because the field is so massive. With the chip counts, if you just have regularly updated chip counts, you can glance at it, and in a glance, you can see who's here, who showed up and busted, who's doing well, who's doing poorly. And for day one, I think that's what most people want to know. So for me, chip counts on day one, and then it's kind of experimenting with how else we cover it.
There you go. So all sorts of great stuff, of course, on WPT.com. These guys have you covered, too. So check both the sites. We would appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, the more the merrier.
Yeah. Gotta have it's a party down here.
Yeah, we're not competitors. We are peers, compatriots, compadres.
I was trying to come up with a good song there, and I blanked.
Yeah, I'm not a song guy.
Just you and I.
No.
Sharing our chips together.
Crystal Gale and Eddie Rabbit?
Yeah. I pulled that. Good.
You pulled the song, and I knew who sang it.
Very good. Very
we're
good,
old.
BJ. We are.
That song was
and have so we have both
one?
Between the two of us, we have so much insignificant knowledge between us two. It's pretty bad.
I do. I have so much insignificant knowledge. Okay, here's fun trivia.
Okay, I'll give it last shot. Here we go.
Last shot. Why does the television season in America traditionally start in the fall? It's less so than it used to be. They started experimenting in the mid-'90s. Now you have kind of seasons all year. But traditionally, why does it start in the
I'm going to
fall?
say because summer is ending, so people are starting to come back inside.
Okay.
So you're then in a position where you're inside more and watching more TV.
Okay. The number one guess is that it has something to do with school. It does not. Number two guess is it has something to do with the weather. It does not.
Oh, I was close.
Follow the money. The early days of television, there weren't commercials so much as shows sponsored by sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the biggest sponsors were the car companies. The shows that you had, the Ford Theater, not the one Lincoln was shot in, but it was like a TV show, the Ford Theater, the Chevrolet Hour, and things like that. New cars, new model year cars come out in the fall, and that's when they wanted to promote their brand. So they wanted new shows in the fall so they could promote their newest cars, their new year model cars. That's why the TV... And the thing is, this is another excellent example of something with human inertia where it starts for a very clear and specific reason, but after a while it's just been that way for so long that people think there's a better reason for it than there is. Tying that back to poker tournaments, starting a tournament with no antes, I think that day has passed. Like for for certain type of events, there are events certainly in Vegas where you want a small buy-in for a group of guys to go out with their buddies or a group of whoever. I don't want to be sexist. A group of friends go out together and put down $200 on a tournament, and they want some value in terms of playing time.
Right.
They're not talking about their expected value. They're just like, oh, we'll play the poker tournament for a couple hours. So if they start short and they all bust in like 40 minutes, they're going to be like, boy, this sucked. This was horrible.
Right.
Tournament like that, they want some time. But a championship event, I think starting with antes is the right way to go. And I haven't heard a good reason not to other than, well, it's kind of always been, and people will come up with justifications.
I hate that. It's always been that way. Well, sometimes
right.
always been that way isn't the best way to do it.
Right. And another pet peeve that I think I've shared with you before. If you combine to one table at 10 players, that is the final table.
I know
that
it
is. The
is.
definition. I hate
God,
that we
I
don't
hate. I had
give-
to write that the other day.
I
You
hate
know, that killed me. We got down six-handed. We have a six-handed tournament.
Right.
7 players go to the final table.
Right. If they're at
So-
a single table that is the final table of the tournament, he is at the final table. He or she is at the final table and gets credit for that final table. If you don't want 10 at the final, and they say, well, but the tournament is 9-handed. Great. Then combine at 9.
Yeah.
Play 2 tables of 5. There's nothing wrong with that. And then when you get down to 9, then you've got a final table of 9. But if you are at the final table, my belief is you get credit for that final table. One thing I like about the WPT, since our TV tables are 6, the official WPT final table is 6. So at 10, I can call that the final table.
Right.
So at 10, they combine to a final table. We report on it. In my mind and in our coverage, they have made the final table. And then at 6, that's the WPT. It's
TD
almost like
final
branded.
table, right.
All caps, WPT, capital F final table. And that's how I work around it. Because covering the WSOP, it just tilts me the words unofficial final table. No,
I know
it's
it
as
hurts.
official as it can get, and they're like, "Well, that guy doesn't get credit for the final table. Why not?"
That's such a load of
Just
crap. I
'cause.
agree.
And it's and you know what? Like, if baseball can change its rules over the course of 150 years, let's say, what are we at? We're at, I guess, about 150 years. Then we can change our rules in poker.
Yeah.
Tournament poker's only 40 years old, so
Bag the unofficial final table.
yeah.
Gone. See ya.
And you know what? If we retroactively change the rankings of how many final tables people have gotten or not, doesn't matter. Just change the rankings from here forward, whatever.
There you go.
Anyway, just one of, I think I've gone on like 8 different tangent rants.
That's what you're here for, BJ.
Okay. Anytime you need to just burn up time with people talking, that is my specialty.
You're the man. I love you.
Anytime, Mark.
BJ Neiman doing this, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Adios.
Of course, follow that coverage on WPT.com, and also, of course, we'll be here with SHRPO.com as well. Thanks to BJ for stopping over. Hey, let's take a break, and we're going to come back and take a really good hard look at what happened yesterday on day 1A here at the Seminole Hard Rock Lucky Hearts Poker Open. WPT, that's right, that World Poker Tour, kids, is here. And hopefully we'll be back as Ryan Lucchese, if Ryan Lucchese keeps his feet under control over there. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors and portable bars to bub stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends, we supply everything else. Live it, love it. PokerShop.com.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
The poker action never stops at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We have millions of reasons for you to be a part of our annual Seminole Hard Rock Lucky Hearts Poker Open, January 22nd through February 11th, 2015. Time to go all in. Opening event starts January 22nd with a $1 million guaranteed prize pool. Play in any of the events leading up to the championship at the premier poker destination. The Seminole Hard Rock Lucky Hearts Poker Open Championship begins February 5th through 11th with a guaranteed prize pool of $3 million. The final table of the championship will be live streamed by World Poker Tour and is a main event tour stop. Visit shrpo.com or the Poker Room for registration and details. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood. Must be 21 to play slots and table games and at least 18 to play live poker. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
It's time for you to check out RogueWire.com. News, sports, entertainment, and the internet home of The Mark Hoke Show. Don't wait. Let the sparks fly from your computer at RogueWire.com. And of course, RogueWire.com is powered by BlueRail.net. For over 2 years, The Mark Hoke Show has trusted BlueRail.net as their exclusive host, and you can too. Visit BlueRail.net for top-level web hosting, website building and maintenance, one-on-one customer service, and much more. It's time to get on board with your winning combination, BlueRail.net and RogueWire.com. How far do you want to go?
Join us for Zen Poker Mentoring's debut poker coaching event featuring poker superstar instructors Brian Rast and Vanessa Russo, plus poker reporter turned poker pro Christy Arnett. For unique poker mentoring you'll be able to use on and off the field. The event will be held February 21st and 22nd at the spectacular Meet Las Vegas Event Center, across from the D Las Vegas Hotel and Casino, downtown. The first 15 people to register get a free 2-night stay at the D. Not to mention, Zen Poker Mentoring is giving away a $565 seat for the newest and most exciting event in poker, the Colossus. For more information, visit ZenPokerMentoring.com and sign up for this one-of-a-kind event today.
Hi everyone, Mark here. If you're a poker player like me and looking for something different and exciting to play, you should give open-faced Chinese poker a shot. It has just the right mix of skill, luck, plus a huge dose of the fun factor we're all looking for. There's a reason open-faced Chinese poker has everyone from the recreational player to the top pros hooked on its thrills, action, and unique social interactions you won't find in Hold'em. An incredible game like this has got to be worth checking out. And it's easy to learn, especially by using the ABC Chinese Poker app. Download the ABC Chinese Poker app on iTunes today and find out what everyone's talking about. And if you have questions about the game, tweet at ABC Chinese Poker and they'll be glad to help you along. So join the open-faced Chinese poker community today with the ABC Chinese Poker app, and we'll see you at the tables.
There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way, with all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at pokernight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, we are back here on The Mark Hoke Show live. Seminole Hard Rock World Poker Tour. Lucky Hearts Poker Open. We are duking it out here. Day 1B, the main event going on. Along with a lot of qualifiers, too, if you want to come down and give it a shot. See if you can sneak in here for a little bit of more of a discount on that $3,500. Come on down and play. Still got the qualifiers today. Another 1C tomorrow. So 3 starting days on this one. And, of course, yesterday, day 1A kicked off. And, wow, a pretty interesting day. It wasn't as much of a bloodbath as it normally is around here. Typically, when we get down to the end of the day, a lot of players get whacked and things go crazy, but not this time around. It was pretty slow sledding here for this World Poker Tour Championship event, and the winner of the flight is Alexander Denisov. Denisov, who won an event at the PCA earlier this year. We're dipping in 2015. Denisov bags 220,100 in chips and is the day 1A chip leader. Tim Miles out of Miami, 208. Michael Wang out of Livingston, New Jersey, third for the day at 196.9. Sheldon Gross was around 250 and then got clipped. He had a pretty tough table. There was dealing with Alan Kessler, Stuart Patterson, and Jeff Gross. Sheldon Gross finishes at 192.8. Daniel Dyke finishing in fifth, 189.5. So there are your top 5. A lot of notables going through here, too, and we'll break those all down for you because we mentioned Ryan Van Sanford, 162.3. And we have Alan Kessler, 158.9. Jeremy Joseph out of Pembroke Pines, 155.6. Let's see, Tim Burt out of D'Iberville, Mississippi, 153.1. Darren Elias, 152. So Darren Elias getting a nice run. Zoe Kareem, 150,700. Darren Stabinski, ever dangerous player here. He's, of course, won a championship in the last series, also second in an event as well. He finished at 145,000. Let's see who else we got here. We'll keep those chip counts moving. The My Boss, Dan Swade, finished it at 138.8, so he'll bag up. Jeff Gross, 134.6. And let's see, Chris Bullock at 128.3. Bob Benar is here in the house, the former November Niner, 127.300. Jared Ludeman, 124.2. Let's see, George's Boyajayan, who has had some interesting times here at this series, to say the least. Boy, if he gets deep in this, look out. It could be a crazy night. He ends up the day at 122,000. Let's keep it going here. Jose Parra out of Hialeah, Florida, bags 107.4. Chance Cornuth, though, was up at over 200,000, but he took a couple of hits and fell to 107.3. But Cornuth's still very healthy with that stack. Keep going. Stuart Patterson bags 92,400. Bruce Kramer, the guy that we had on the blog, known as the Skull Crusher. I'm digging that. Yeah, that should be my new name. I should be just go by Skull Crusher on the air. The Skull Crusher Show. Nice. Works for me. Kramer bags 87.5. Matt Stout, who won event 15 the night before, puts in 84,700. Shannon Shore 83.4. Bruce McVeigh, who's made a couple final tables at this series, 82.9. Angel Vu puts in 79.9, getting in there on one bullet. Good for her. Will Fiala, 76,300. For Ozjaka, 74.9. He was playing with Matt Stout pretty much just about all day. So those two were kind of getting to do the buddy game for a while. Darren Rabinovitz, 71.3. Who else are we rolling with here? Keep going down the list here. Cliff Goldkind, 65,700. Vinny Pahuja at 64.3 he tries to win a WPT championship, join his success on this tour like his brother has had. Of course, Vinny was player of the year, McCool was the player of the year last year. Let's see, who else are we looking at? Jason Mercier bags 53,500, satisfied with that stack. Let's see, more names. Just keep on going down the list here. Corey Burbick bags 44.6. And it's looking down and getting into these really short stacks now. Eddie Sabat finishes at 36.9 for the day. John Dolan, 32.8. And, of course, we see John down here all the time. He lives in the area. And your short stack of the day, bagging it up, Otto Palacios out of Carolina, Puerto Rico, bags 15,900. So he will be he is the short stack coming out of day 1A. Of course, day 1B underway. A lot of notables in the field. Some of the chip counts that we got about an hour ago, so obviously some of this has changed, but we'll give you some names here. Jacob Baisley jumped out here at 83,000. Mir Lavat at 61.7. Twan Lee is here, bags 40, or is in there with 48.5. Anthony Zeno back in the field. Couldn't get it done yesterday. He's going to give it another shot today at 47.4. Blair Hinkle is in the house. Of course, Blair's won a main event here at Seminole Hard Rock before, so Hinkle with 44,325. Matt Waxman is back in the field today, 42,750. Actually, I think he didn't play yesterday. Andy Frankenberger here, of course, a former WPT Player of the Year, 42.7 to start off the day. Noah Schwartz is back in here. Vasily Leschenko also back for another bullet today. Got in at 39.3 so far. Brian Hastings in there at 38.6. Abby Daniels, 37.625. Brett Bader, 34.2. Matt Affleck, who won his seat yesterday, in there, is at 32.2. Esther Taylor Brady, and if you were following the WPT, of course, she made the televised final table up at Borgata here just a week ago. She is down here now in 30,000. Jonathan Duhamel back in the field, 29.8. Paul Volpe's in the house. Paul G's 81. The Ever Dangerous one, 28.2. Tony Dunst, of course, the man behind the live stream and the Raw Deal on WPT, 24.9. Darryl Fish is in there today. Decided to skip yesterday's out at 24.150. Kevin Schaffel's in there, 19.8. Leo Volpert, 19.7. And Joe Kuther, 19.4. So there's some of your notable chip stacks, at least that we had a couple of minutes ago, or about an hour ago. So let's see if we have any updates. And it looks like Evan Titelbaum, he is firing bullet number 2. Titelbaum won the first event here for about $174,000 in this series. He is out. Elliot Zimon's down here. Good to see Elliot has made it into the house. And let's see what else is rolling on here. Yeah, that's pretty much all we've got right now here at this Seminole Hard Rock WPT Lucky Hearts Poker Open. We're live here, of course, in Hollywood, Florida. So there you go. So that's pretty much your update on where things stand at the moment. Let's see. So, well, okay, we're closing in on another break. So let's take it, and we'll be right back with more, some interesting news and notes going around in the poker world. We'll take a fast look around the world of poker in just a little bit as we come back. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thanks for joining us.
The poker action never stops at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We have millions of reasons for you to be a part of our annual Seminole Hard Rock Lucky Hearts Poker Open, January 22nd through February 11th, 2015. Time to go all in. Opening event starts January 22nd with a $1 million guaranteed prize pool. Play in any of the events leading up to the championship at the premier poker destination. The Seminole Hard Rock Lucky Hearts Poker Open Championship begins February 5th through 11th with a guaranteed prize pool of $3 million. The final table of the championship will be live streamed by World Poker Tour and is a main event tour stop. Visit shrpo.com or the Poker Room for registration and details. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood. Must be 21 to play slots and table games and at least 18 to play live poker. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hi everyone, Mark here. If you're a poker player like me and looking for something different and exciting to play, you should give Open-Faced Chinese Poker a shot. It has just the right mix of skill, luck, plus a huge dose of the fun factor we're all looking for. There's a reason Open-Faced Chinese Poker has everyone from the recreational player to the top pros hooked on its thrills, action, and unique social interactions you won't find in Hold'em. An incredible game like this has got to be worth checking out. And it's easy to learn, especially by using the ABC Chinese Poker app. Download the ABC Chinese Poker app on iTunes today and find out what everyone's talking about. And if you have questions about the game, tweet at ABC Chinese Poker and they'll be glad to help you along. So join the Open-Faced Chinese Poker community today with the ABC Chinese Poker app and we'll see you at the tables.
Join us for Zen Poker Mentoring's debut poker coaching event featuring poker superstar instructors Brian Rast and Vanessa Russo, plus poker reporter turned poker pro Christy Arnett. For unique poker mentoring you'll be able to use on and off the field. The event will be held February 21st and 22nd at the spectacular Meet Las Vegas Event Center across from the D Las Vegas Hotel and Casino, downtown. The first 15 people to register get a free 2-night stay at the D. Not to mention, Zen Poker Mentoring is giving away a $565 seat for the newest and most exciting event in poker, the Colossus. For more information, visit ZenPokerMentoring.com and sign up for this one-of-a-kind event today. There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way. With all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at PokerNight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle. Right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top-quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors and portable bars to bub stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends, we supply everything else. Live it, love it. PokerShop.com.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back here at the Seminole Hard Rock WPT Lucky Arts Poker Open here at the Seminole Hard Rock Facilities Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Having a great time. Oh, we're starting to, it's funny though, we've been here for a couple of weeks now, and we're starting to kind of feel like the end is slightly in sight. Just a little. I think Ryan would agree with me that there's a pinhole of light. It's like we've been buried in a cave for 2 weeks.
It's like day 2 of the WSOP right now.
Day 2 of the that's not bad. It's a decent comparison.
I think that's a good comparison.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of those 49 days of hell I've got coming up at the World Series of Poker, Ryan. I do appreciate that. He'll be at home. Yeah. But good luck with the baby, by the way.
Thank you.
Should be nice. Ryan's got one in the oven coming out soon, so that should be fun. We'll get his life turned upside down in a hurry. Yeah, we were actually talking about New Year's plans and what it does to you when you have a baby for New Year's. Yeah, it's not so good for the first couple of years. Until self-sufficiency kicks in a little bit. Plus, you learn how to have parties at home, too. Real fast. So, if you need any tips, Ryan, I'll get you through it.
Okay.
I'll get you through it.
Hoke's guide to the first 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cross your fingers, say a prayer, and try not to change as few diapers as possible.
Tell us to go cover a poker tournament.
And if you get the devil eyes at any point, you just do whatever she says. It's pretty simple. All right. Well, of course, some nice little housekeeping measures to take care of here. We have a lot going on with this show. It has just been an amazing run here in 2014 and 15, and it keeps going and going. Of course, we're going to be at the Zen Poker Mentoring. Yeah. All right here. Zen Poker Mentoring, not the Hard Rock. That's Hard Rock. Zen Poker Mentoring Clinic with Brian Rast, Vanessa Russo, and Christy Arnett. That is going to be February 21st and 22nd at the Meet Las Vegas Event Center, downtown Las Vegas, right across from the D. I got to tell you, I have not gotten to go in there yet, but from everything everyone's told me, this is like the premier center for meetings in Las Vegas, and they're really going to do it up in there. And plus, you're going to learn a lot too. It's going to be an outstanding time. Some really interesting structures on how they're setting up the education and the classes, and a lot of wide variety of topics, too, on and off the felt. Should be a great time. So check it out, zenpokermentoring.com. Sign up today. You're one of the first 15 people. Oh, baby, 2 free nights at the D. You get to hang out. You can be drunk on Fremont Street with all the fuzzy guys and not have to drive home. It's perfect. So go sign up today at zenpokermentoring.com. Pokershop.com, by the way, has got some great stuff available for you, too. Anything you need for your room, with poker room, with all sorts of supplies, cards, chips, tables, lamps, maybe even a life-size cardboard cutout of Ryan Lucchese. Could be available at pokershop.com. 10% off if you put in the code HOKE. And maybe you can get 20% off the cutoff, too. Those things might be stockpiled in the warehouse a little bit. I heard Ryan's wife bought 3 of them, though. It's not bad. She misses them. What can I say? But get over there, pokershop.com. 10% off once again with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. And Poker Night in America is going on, too. Make sure you check them out on CBS Sports Network, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays now. Was on Sundays, now on Monday nights. Season 2, a lot of the shows are in the bag, but we're going to be filming another one here very shortly, end of April, at the Sugar House Casino in Philadelphia. I have not gone to Sugar House yet, so it's going to be an interesting trip down there for me. Unfortunately, I had to pass on going to the 2-Pair Poker Tour Championships. I want to wish Roger Bailey the best with those out at Thunder Valley at the end of April. But we'll be headed over to the Poker Night in America tapings. Ladies Night 2 should be a blast. And make sure you watch Poker Night in America. CBS Sports Network, 10 p.m. Of course, we're on Wednesdays on KLAV1230am.com, the talk of Las Vegas. We'd love to have you check us out there. Of course, also on the interwebs at KLAV1230am.com, along with some other Some great programming and some interesting ones. But it's a lot of fun. A great station, so make sure you tune in there and catch us on KLAV 1230 AM, the talk of Las Vegas. Hey, another event we're going to be covering coming up in May, we're going to be at the PPC Poker Tour's North America Championships. That's going to be May 15th through the 24th. You can check all that out at ppcpokertour.com. And, they run some amazing series with their tournaments. And, of course, the big goal is win that seat in the PPC Championship at Aruba. They give away a ton of packages for that. You'll have a great time with it, so check it out at ppcpokertour.com. Also, if you're in Las Vegas, hey, if you bust out the World Series, play poker for free with the Nevada Poker League. 21 locations all around the city. Check it out at nevadapokerleague.com. Dutch Boyd's book, Poker Tilt, is out as well. Been out for a while. And if you haven't read it, I don't know what poker book you're ever going to read. It's an amazing book. Give it a look at pokertilt.com, also available on Kindle and Amazon as well. Oh, well, there you go. That takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of air, too. I feel like I'm sucking oxygen out of the room. By the way, he didn't get hit with a batarang. He's our good friend. He's out, can't hang. Going by. I think Al has some bunt bread or something. Cinnamon toast. Not sure what Al grabbed there. Marble pound cake. Oh, that's a winner. Al, of course, leading the coverage. Mickey Doff is the lead for those guys. Al is our lead. And he's a tortured soul for 3 weeks here at the Seminole Hard Rock. He gets all the fun tasks that nobody else gets to do. But doing a great job. Make sure you follow on the blog at shrpo.com, Twitter shrpo, hashtag shrpo. By the way, of course, if you want to follow our show, at Mark Hoke Show on Twitter, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, and, of course, where you're probably watching us right now, markhokeshow.com. And there are more events coming up here at the Seminole Hard Rock, by the way. We've got, of course, Day 1C of the main event coming up tomorrow starting at noon, so that's going to be your last chance to play for this $3 million guaranteed tournament. So get on down here. I don't know what the heck you're waiting for if you haven't showed up yet. Trying to see how many entries we've gotten so far today. I'm thinking that says 244. I'm a little far away, so I can't quite read it, but I think that's about where we're at the moment. So I think we got another 244 players in the house right now. But you can join this field and play for at least a part of that $3 million prize pool. Just come on down to the Seminole Hard Rock here in Hollywood, Florida. We also, of course, have a couple more events going on, too. If you want to come down and play, we have on Sunday starting up 3 other startups, which is fun for us. $350 no-limit hold'em re-entry tournament, $50,000 guarantee starting at noon. Day 1 of the $1,650 Purple Chip Bounty no-limit hold'em re-entry tournament, $1,650 buy-in. That is starting at 3 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, we've got another lottery coming up, the $150 no-limit hold'em re-entry tournament, $50,000 guaranteed on that. We got 2 starting days on that one, Sunday and Monday. So that's going to be quality entertainment. And then also on Monday, Pot Limit Omaha re-entry tournament, $30,000 guaranteed on that, starting at noon. Tuesday, the official final event of the series, $30,000 guaranteed, $250 no-limit hold'em tournament. And, of course, this main event running through Wednesday, be live streamed on WPT.com. So we've got a lot happening out here. And speaking of a lot happening, wow, Dennis, I have not seen this ever. Dennis Phillips in a sport coat. This is amazing. Dennis looking good. Congratulations to Dennis Phillips. Well, let's see if Dennis will pop on the show. Well, it looks like they're meandering around here, so Dennis Phillips is in the house. I'd imagine he'll be getting into probably flight tomorrow. He's looking too good. It looks like he's here for business, so probably won't see him today, but good to have Dennis Phillips flying around here. All right, and just taking a look, see if we've got any more updates in here for you on anything going on. Like I said, it's early in day one, so not a whole lot happening here, but we'll see if we can get any final updates for you before we hop off the air and continue our coverage here on shrpo.com. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're sitting right now, so no news. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Dan, will you come around here for a minute? Because I want the world to see this. I want the world to see this, because normally it's the St. Louis cap and, some... he usually wears a collared shirt, at least, a nice polo shirt. But today, look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's got the businessy Poker Stars backpack. He's sporting got the sport coat on, looking good. What's up, D-Man?
So when is a backpack a business attire?
In poker, that's business attire.
All right.
That is business attire in poker.
All righty.
So what's going on, my friend? What's
there are a ton of things going on. I'm smiling a lot nowadays.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So we'll see. Maybe by the WSOP, we can sit down and have some really interesting talks.
Is Poker Stars finally coming back? Is Lesniak, was he teasing us or was he telling the truth? Come on, Dennis, here. I'm going to turn the mic there. Let's hear it loud and clear.
Maybe by the WSOP, we can have a real interesting talk.
Okay. Let's just say, just for fun, and
okay.
not that
hypothetically,
just hypothetically that
it's not like anybody's listening to this, right?
No, not at all. That Poker Stars would be coming back in a March time frame in New Jersey. We'll just throw that state out. I mean, it could be in Colorado or Wyoming, but I'm predicting New Jersey might be the first domino to fall. How cool would that be? What are we looking at there?
That would be pretty cool. Let me tell you, that would be. I mean, you would have poker players all over the U.S. going, finally, yes, how soon can I get to New Jersey? That type of thing. Everybody's looking forward to it. We obviously are. I mean, there's a reason why more people play on Poker Stars than anybody else. There's a reason why they've been called the White Knight and all this other stuff. There's the reason why they did so many things right. And it's just wrong that they're not able to be in the U.S.
Agreed.
There is just... Oh, man, don't get me started on my rant.
Go ahead.
I'm liable to start using four-letter words, which is not...
You're all right. You can do that on the internet. We're okay.
Okay. No, it's just wrong on so many levels. They do everything right. Their first thought is always, what about the players? And they're being penalized. I mean, just go through the last 20 different things that have happened there. Pre-Black Friday, during Black Friday, after Black Friday, the way that they had protected from the day they opened their doors, all the players' accounts, every penny of it isolated, every day, every deposit. And that finally come to light. And it wasn't that Poker Stars was going to brag and say, look, this is what we did. They did it because it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. It should have been the standard for every single online company that ever existed.
Agreed.
And you have companies right now in operation that are not doing that because it's not regulated. So let's see what we do. We penalize the guys that are and allow those that aren't to operate in the U.S.
How frustrating! I always wondered about that. And we could probably name a few sites. I know. I don't even know what's going on with Lock anymore. But
there's one particular site, and I won't mention Lock Poker by name, but there's one particular site that's 2 years behind in paying its payers.
I've got money on there. I'm not happy about it.
Nobody is. I mean, it's just wrong. They should not have their doors open. As far as I'm concerned, they steal the money if you do that.
Why is it that, I mean, I suppose it was just to make an example out of the bigger sites, but why is it that the federal government hasn't gone after those sites and shut them down like they did with Poker Stars and Full Tilt? Well,
there's lots of possible scenarios there. The most obvious one is if they're going to do action like they did on Black Friday, they want to have the repercussions for it to be some sort of a financial gain for them, which it was. And if you go to some of the smaller sites that are overseas and with very minimal financial resources, they're not going to get a whole lot out of it. So let's go after the big dogs and let's get a nice cash bonus and be done with it. Speaking of which, how many players in the U.S. still have money on Full Tilt that the government hasn't given back to them?
Yeah.
Is that wrong? The day after this thing was finalized, Poker Stars started refunding money to the rest of the world.
Correct.
Every single person that had it on there could get it back, no questions asked. It's your money. We don't deserve it. Here it is. How do you want us to send it to you? That's how simple it was. In the U.S., this freedom place, and they sit there and you got to jump through hoops, and it's been 2 years and the money's still sitting in the bank account. I hear last month they sent another $3 million back. Woohoo! They finally sent some back.
That's nothing, yeah. That's nothing.
It's just so wrong. If I'm in Afghanistan, I'd have had my money by now. But
Probably.
not in the US.
Probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Stop and think for a minute, guys.
I get the feeling that you've been in some meetings over the past week or so. I'm just calling it a hunch.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. We're trying to do things right. Hopefully, this will all work out. I'm actually smiling. There are a lot of good things and a lot of good people pushing for it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, hopefully this year will show some real progress.
If PokerStars does come back, is it just going to be New Jersey players, or are they going to be allowed to link up internationally?
Well, again, there's a proposal, again, by the senator in New Jersey to allow that to happen. Whether or not that happens, I doubt if it happens instantly. Mm-hmm. It's something that we want to push for in the future, obviously. Right now, having another site that's a great site that people enjoy playing on in New Jersey will help, no doubt about it. But it'll probably just be New Jersey to start with.
What's the status of California? I know that's been they're starting. It seems like they're starting to loosen up a little bit towards PokerStars in there. What's happening out there?
Again, just speaking factually, there were 2 different bills introduced. There's 2 major groups out there, a number of minor groups that are out there. The one bill that was introduced does have a bad actor clause, does have a clause that would be a problem to the racetracks. That type of bill has been introduced several times before and never gone anywhere. The second bill that was introduced did not have the bad actor clause. What he decided was, we have this group called the regulators in a state. Mm-hmm. Why not let them do their job?
There you go. That'd be an idea.
Real simple. Why do we have to legislate to rule somebody out? Why not allow the people that we hired specifically to govern this and to regulate it make that decision? Of course, I guess that's being logical. So
yeah, I know.
How dare I do that?
It's funny that I was just down PCA, got to and finally got to hang out with a lot of people from PokerStars, and then just listening to how you're talking right now, it's such a sense of, boy, we're so close, but God, this is so frustrating. I mean, that's just the sense that I get.
Yeah, you have no idea. And again, well, maybe later on, I'll write my memoirs. There you go. That'll be interesting. But again, just know that there's a ton of people that are working hard at this. We are, I think, making progress, and hopefully the right thing will end up coming out.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. Well, what's going on with you?
Oh, I'm having fun. There's no doubt about it. Spent a couple of weeks down in South America right before Christmas and around that area. Just having some fun. I have this problem.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I have this major problem. I have.
They have shots for that.
Oh, well, I've been through that routine. So anyhow.
Oh, really? There's breaking news.
Thanks for giving me the doctor lead. For your favorite one. Anyhow. Okay, I don't know how well that came out, but it surely sounded bad. No, I'm actually playing less poker now than I did, before, like my run in 2008. I have so many other things going on.
You get in on the business side of it, and that's what happens.
Yeah, I've got that, and I've got interest in other companies, and doing that, and I'm not playing as much poker as I used to. Kind of sucks.
Are you going to be getting into this, or?
I don't know. I'm actually in Florida for a number of meetings. I don't think I can, because I've got meetings almost all day Monday, and should I actually run deep in this thing, you know what happens.
Right.
So I'm sitting here drooling over these tables, wanting to enter it, and I just don't think I can.
Dennis, this is my life every time I go to a poker series. This is what it's like for me. It's horrible. I keep begging Al to let me off for a day and hop into something. It's like, nope. I'm like, okay, and I cry. Well, that's great. I mean, it's nice to see things are going well for you, and one of those guys that's been smart enough to. I mean, obviously, you had business interests before your run at the November 9, but you've even been able to expand that more, and that's exciting to see. A lot of people could take lessons from you on how to do things the right way after they have success.
Well, I don't know about take lessons from you. I'm not sure anybody would want to do that, but it's just kind of common sense. And there are times, if I'd have won or placed deep the way I did and got a huge check when I was in my 20s, I'm not sure what would happen to it. It's very easy to blow it, to have all these other things going on and such. I was actually mature enough that I had already sowed most of my wild oats, and so it was kind of fun and nice to be able to invest in places and make some new business acquaintances and do some ventures that I wanted to do, and they've panned out. They've done well, I have to admit.
Oh, congratulations on everything, and we appreciate. I know you're doing a lot of work to get Poker Stars back in the United States, and I'm sure everybody appreciates all the efforts that you've been putting in for the past couple of years. I know it's been a long, hard road for you. Maybe it's finally going to pay off here soon.
Well, there's a ton of people that are working as much or more than I am. So I would love to take a lot of the credit, but I'm just one of the people grinding away at this. But hopefully it will come through. I think it will, and maybe you'll see me online again. That'd be cool.
God, that would be so sweet.
I would love it.
That'd be so sweet.
I'd even let you try to take my money.
I would. I'm still mad about that damn baseball.
All righty, cool.
Dennis, thank you, buddy. Good to see you.
Absolutely. You take care.
Best of luck down here in Florida.
Right.
Have a good time. Enjoy yourself a little bit.
I will. Maybe I can play some cash games or something.
There's a PLO tournament coming up in a few days. Just hop into that.
I wouldn't mind that a bit.
There you go.
All right,
I'll give you something to do.
Take care.
Thanks, buddy. Dennis Phillips stopping by. Always good to have Dennis around. The frustration in Dennis's voice is palpable. Unreal. But good to have him stopping by. I think he was dropping a hint, though. Ryan, did you think he was dropping a hint? It sounded like he was dropping a hint.
A little bit.
Just a tad. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. March is only a month away. We could have could it possibly be true that Ray Lesniak was not blowing smoke this time? We'll find out. Should be interesting. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. That's a great way to finish it, too, with the D-Man on there. Great to see him. So we will, of course, resume our blogging coverage on shrpo.com. Hit us up on Twitter, SHRPO, and hashtag SHRPO, and we'll have all the news that's fit to print, video, show, whatever you need on that site as we cover the Seminole Hard Rock WPT Lucky Hearts Poker Open. Well, thanks, everybody, for joining us. Do appreciate it. We will see you next time tomorrow for day 1C here at the Lucky Hearts Poker Open. Thanks for being with us, guys. We'll catch you next time.